try to be a responsible citizen. Please get vaccinated. Thank you very much. Now I am open to question answers. If you have got some questions, you may please ask. Unmute yourself and ask if you have got some question. If there are 53 people who are listening and nobody has got a question, that clearly means something. That they don't want to. Oh, Nishita says that I have no access to unmute myself. हमने सबको unmute कर दिया है क्या? Mute कर दिया है क्या?
Apologies, I have disabled that. Let me just enable that option. Yes, now everybody can unmute themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. I just wanted to ask that it's okay to have some mild symptoms after getting first dose, but can you have symptoms even after getting a second dose? And is that okay to have?
What kind of symptoms?
Like mild fever or
yes.
like,
Yes, even after second dose, you get not only mild fever, you can get even high grade fever for a day or a couple of days, and that's normal. That shows that your body is fighting against the evil.
Okay. Actually, after first dose, I am experiencing mild fever, but I was little confused about the second dose.
Well, maybe that you get it, maybe that you don't get it.
Okay.
But expect that that this might happen.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Butch. My name is Samira. I wanted to ask, does the second strain of the virus has the symptom of conjunctivitis? That is my first question. And the second question is, I have a child at home. So suppose for saying my child has contracted the virus. So how do I basically, keep her into isolation, because definitely she would be needing me at that time. So I can't be around her. So what precautions can I take that time?
Why should you need to isolate your child?
Because suppose if she's positive and I am negative.
Okay. Either of you become positive and the other person is negative. Yes. Now to answer your question, you have got a small child. You might need to isolate the child, and if you get an infection, I pray God that none of us get it, but let us be prepared. If you get the infection, you will need to keep the baby away from you.
Correct.
How to do it? That depends upon your local situation, your family members, your parents-in-laws, or brothers and sisters-in-laws. They might take care of the child. But if the child is so small that the mother is required, in that case, people say that you might have to put the child to risk. But even then, what we suggest is that if the mother is infected, the child may be kept away to the tune that the mother may not breastfeed. See, we had one girl with us. She has left the job because she got married now. Her sister-in-law, Abhi, delivered. And at the time of delivery, she was detected to have COVID. For 15 days, the baby was kept away from her. They expressed milk from the mother's breast and fed the baby. But the mother had not seen the face of baby for 15 days.
Okay.
So if you can meticulously do that, you can protect your child. How to do it? That depends upon your family situation. What was your second question?
Regarding conjunctivitis as the symptom.
Yes, conjunctivitis, you are right. This is one of the symptoms of conjunctivitis, which is known as pink eye.
Yes.
That is a sign of corona. Not only that, the other problem with that is that if it is occurring little later in the course of disease, this could be an early warning signal of mucormycosis. That's a dreaded complication of corona. So if you get such kind of conjunctivitis or redness in eye, you should better consult your doctor rather than do it something of your own. Maybe that if you cannot go to the hospital because you are in a quarantine, you talk to the doctor on a video call so that the person can see your eyes. I've got a question from Deepa Khan. That which medicine should not take after vaccination? Any immunomodulator like steroids and other things should not be taken. And the other thing what they suggest nowadays is that non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or diclofenac, these drugs are better avoided. And the general people do not have the understanding of what kind of the drug it is. So it is better to ask a doctor. And it is safe to take paracetamol whenever you have got pain and fever. Not take anything else. Tell your doctor that you have got vaccinated, because doctor doesn't know that you are vaccinated. You have taken vaccine somewhere else. That you don't take vaccine at your doctor's place. So the doctor doesn't know. You will have to tell that, well, doctor, I have got vaccinated and kindly give me medicine accordingly, so that he will avoid the medicines which cannot be given to you. So, am I clear? Okay. Samira, am I clear for you?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Butch. Thank you.
Is there any other question?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Rajeshri, please. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
My voice is clear?
Clear, clear.
Yes, sir. My question is that if a person get infected before 7 days and now is normal, discharged from hospital, then he is able to spread the COVID for other people, or he should get quarantine for next 7 days to complete 14 days of duration?
Yes. 14 days isolation is required. So sometimes you get discharged from hospital because your condition is like that well, you are a mild infection and can be managed at home. But at home, isolation is required for 14 days. And what Almas has said that wants to know something about mucormycosis. Well, it is a complicated subject, but I will tell you in a nutshell. Mucormycosis is a fungus, and this fungus is present everywhere in our atmosphere. It is there in the room where I am sitting. It is there in the room where you are sitting. It is there on my body. It is there on your body. and it is there in everybody's body. But it doesn't give us any infection. It doesn't give any infection to us because we are not immunocompromised. But when you get corona infection, corona itself leads to reduction of your immunity. And in some of the conditions of corona, you need to be given steroids. The steroids are given in particular conditions where inflammatory response is noted, and to cover that response, steroid is given. But the steroid again reduces the immunity of a person. And in such a compromised immunity situation, this mucormycosis, which even otherwise was there on our body, will flare up and lead to the disease. The disease occurs in nose, eye, and brain, and in lungs. Well, to diagnose that is not possible to be covered in this audience and in this presentation. You need to go to doctor because mucormycosis is a dire emergency. We have got another question. If a person is on blood thinner, should he take the vaccine directly or stop the medications? A very good question. Which blood thinner are you taking? That's important. If you are taking simple blood thinners like clopidogrel and aspirin, you can take it. If you are on more complicated like coumarin derivatives and others, then you may not take it directly, and you take a break from that blood thinner. But you shouldn't take any break from blood thinner without asking your doctor. So you need to ask your doctor. There is another question is, yes, any need of getting quarantine before or after taking vaccine? No. There is no need for any quarantine or isolation before or after taking vaccine. It's only if you get an infection. Otherwise not. If anybody is taking antibiotic or antihypertensive medicines, so up to how many days he should not take medicine? Why should not he take medicine? Don't give this kind of talk to anybody. They must take their medicine meticulously during vaccination and during disease. Anytime anti-diabetic or antihypertensive drugs should not be stopped. Either you are taking vaccine or you are having the disease. In fact, they give insulin even if you are not diabetic, because if they are giving steroid, blood sugar may go up. And today people want to protect from mucormycosis, and that's why they meticulously control the blood sugar. So if there are some drugs which will elevate your blood sugar, they will give you insulin. So don't stop any hypertensive or anything. How to observe a diabetic or high risk person after getting vaccination? And after vaccination, no special care is needed. While if the person gets the disease, will require some good care, and that's why you need to talk to doctor. Naturally, for COVID infection, many people ask me that what should we take. I say that, well, I would not like to tell you what medicine you should take like this. You should better take medicine from the doctor and from the doctor whom you are taking medicines regularly, one. And second thing is that you need to contact some hospital so that in case you need something more, you will be taken care of. So when there is a diabetic or any other high risk, vaccination doesn't require any special care. But yes, when you get the disease, you require special care. Yes, now the chat questions are over. Is there anything?
Yeah. Hi, doctor. So we are getting certain questions around, is there any impact on fertility due to vaccination? But like you mentioned, like the first 3 months of pregnancy, it's good to avoid. So if if there are questions around, we are trying for pregnancy or making a baby, so should we suggest them to take the vaccination, wait for a couple of 3 months, like you shared, and then again try?
Well, if somebody is planning for a baby, should immediately take vaccine. And till both the doses are over, I think it is preferable not to get pregnant. But even if somebody is pregnant and gets the disease, even during early days, there is just no problem. It has been proved that vertical transmission from mother to child of COVID is not occurring. The child will get infection at the time of birth. So if somebody is planning for a baby, they just do not need to worry. They plan for baby. Yes, if somebody is pregnant and is in early pregnancy, like 1.5 months or 2 months, may wait for the vaccination until 3 months are over. If a person gets COVID after first dose and even gone to ventilator, then after discharging from hospital, after how many days second dose can be taken? Yes, the answer is same. Whatever condition was to the occurred during the interval phase, you should wait for 1 month after the first dose, or you should wait for the disease to be over, whichever is later. So when the disease is over, when the doctor says that yes, now your disease is over, now you are okay, although you were on ventilator or you were this or that, but now your disease is over, then you can go and take the vaccine anytime. But naturally, somebody who was on ventilator has got communication with his doctor, so he will always ask when to take the vaccine. But the answer is this, that 1 month from last dose and full recovery from the disease, whichever is later.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question to you was, as we have seen the gap between two doses is 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, and we can extend till 12 weeks. But as we can see the shortage near by the rural areas, so if the extension goes below 12 weeks, so the efficacy of the vaccine remains the same, or any effects can be seen?
Yes, this is a very good question, and this is going to happen within some time, because we do not have adequate vaccine, and maybe that people take vaccine first dose and for second dose the vaccine might not be available. But this situation has not occurred up till now, even in other countries. So it is not studied. The study till today says that a time lag between two doses of 12 weeks is okay. Now let us see how the cards get open. But our government is trying very hard to procure the vaccination dose, more doses of the vaccines which are produced in our country, and also getting vaccine from other countries, even other vaccines other than Covishield and Covaxin. Sputnik is produced in Russia, and we have ordered that vaccine also. So maybe that some of us might get Sputnik, and that way we can avoid the condition where the time interval between two doses is very long. But neither I have got the answer, neither the literature has got any answer the things will fold up and we will be knowing at that time only.
Thank you, sir.
But yes, you raised a very important question, and I'm sure I'm not in a position to answer today.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Mani. So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So, like a person with thyroid, tonsils, and migraine, so shall we take this vaccine? And another question is like, if a person, apart from the COVID, a positive person, if a person is falls sick in like with fever and mild other symptoms, so how long he should wait to get vaccinated? Yeah. So
Yes. Similar question has been asked by Neha also, Neha Kazi, that mild headache or nausea and doesn't have a COVID test done. And what you say is that mild infection like fever and everything, if somebody has got any disease, any symptoms which are suggestive of COVID, the person might not be in a position to say that it's related to COVID because lay people do not know. So what they need to do is that they should tell the vaccinators, who are at least paramedical people, that they are suffering from particular situation or a condition, and let them decide whether vaccination can be done or not. But if somebody has got fever, then or cough, that is very much suggestive of COVID infection. Of course, fever and cough could be due to many conditions like seasonal things. But at that time, what you can do is you get yourself tested, and if there is no infection, there is no harm taking vaccine. And if there is infection, yes, you behave accordingly. Mani, you said something about thyroid and other conditions. The only two conditions where vaccine cannot be given is that one, if somebody has got reaction towards the medicines used in vaccine, and second is somebody who has got active COVID. Rest, all people can take vaccine and they should take vaccine. Am I clear?
yeah, doctor, thank you.
So, shall we conclude or we have got some questions? And as I always say, that it's absolutely okay to have questions afterwards, because the more we think, the more questions will arise. So you may note my phone number. You can ask on WhatsApp. My number is 982598 9750.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And thank you all for your questions and your participation. So I see a message from Ria.
This is my phone number. If you can see my screen.
Oh, absolutely. We can. Why don't we take a photo? So, Dr. Butch, if you could, please, everybody can please take a moment to take down Dr. Butch's number. And I will also be putting the number on chat as well as on Slack. You can also ask questions on the Slack channel if you're a member of the team. Great. So if you could stop.
Somebody has asked a question, please, just a minute.
Yes.
Somebody has asked a question that if a person has got asthma, having asthma is not identified as a high risk for COVID, but nonetheless, the person having asthma will have some more issues with the lungs if the lungs are affected in COVID infection. So this person is likely to have some more complications, and well, the doctor who is treating the person will definitely take care of the asthma also. And usually such people will require steroid, and steroid will help in asthma also. And at the same time, some bronchodilators also will be given to the patients. Such patients will early go into hypoxia. That's if you test your oxygen level on pulse oximeter, that will go less than 95. So these people will in fact early go to the doctor for taking some support. So yes, they are going to face some more problem, but they are not exactly high risk, and the condition will be easily taken care of. Okay, now you might have noted my phone number, and if you need to ask some question, you can ask on WhatsApp. Yes, Neha. Shall we conclude?
Yes, sir. Actually, before concluding, let's take a picture of the training. We'd love to post this, and we will also be posting a recording of this training on our social media and our YouTube page. So
you want me to start my video?
Yes, if we can all start our videos so we can take a screenshot. All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for attending. And I hope this session has been informative and helpful in answering your questions about the vaccine. And we'll keep the conversation going on Slack and on WhatsApp. All right. I'm going to be taking a screenshot now, so please say cheese. And one more. Cheese. Oh, wait. Okay. Few more people are now turning on. Let's give them a second. Oh, this is nice. All right. Say cheese. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.